What's something people don't know about you? Because we don't know a whole lot about you, right?
Yeah.
We haven't had a chance to talk to you except today.
Good golfer.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty decent. That was probably the second sport I grew up playing the most. I grew up playing soccer, but soccer was year round. But my grandpa taught me how to golf when I was younger, and I think that's actually something that helped me with kicking. With the golf swing, contact and finishing and whatnot.
Patience.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of patience.
Are you a good golfer?
Average. I used to be a lot better. I used to play more before getting to college, but got a little bit less time here. But that's something we all go out and do together. All the guys on the team go out to the course and have some fun. That's a good way to rewind with each other.
How does Colton push you?
He's just a great kicker. I'm confident in my abilities, but then when you have another great kicker ahead of you, it's something you just got to keep pushing yourself for. Never to be complacent. Always trying to get better, trying to win the spot.
Did you last season, when he was going through his struggles and you talked about his injuries and things like that, how much were you two trying to lean on each other? How much did he lean on you to kind of maybe pick your ear a little bit, or pick your brain, I guess, to help him out, kind of get through the process there?
Yeah, all the time, especially at practice. Nitpicking at each other, watching each other's form. Trying to help with what can improve. Maybe what went wrong in that rep. Especially in games, pre-game. I think back to times in the locker room, I remember before the Georgia Tech game, having a one-on-one with each other, just talking about just going out there and doing what we know we can do. Whoever's out on the field, just trying to help each other mentally and physically.
How do you balance that? Being a family, being close, being friends, but being competitors, right?
Yeah.
You want to be the guy too, right?
Yeah, it's difficult at times, but I think what you have to remember is, when we got on the field and we're trying to do our jobs, we're not trying to do it for ourselves, but for the team. So when you have that team aspect, and even if you're not the starter, we're out there during practice. As long as you have a role where you're trying to help the team ultimately get that win, I think that's the main goal.
What's your strengths as a kicker?
As a kicker, I would say my ball contact. I know my strength is a big one as well. Deep field goals. Getting out there on kickoffs. Hopefully this season. So I would say ball contact and some distance.
Do you envision that being a role you play, a kickoff specialist, or
trying to this season?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
How far can you kick a field goal?
I've kicked back to 65 before. Probably had a little bit of wind that day, but I can get it done. So
who do you like watching kick in the NFL?
Obviously the likes of Justin Tucker, just because he's great. Someone I watched when I was getting into it was Evan McPherson in Florida. I think he's at the Bengals now. Those two, but also guys like Johnny Townsend, Tommy Townsend, they played at Boone. So,
local guys, yeah.
Nitpicking their brains on what college is like, what the NFL is like, trying to see what the process even though they're punters, a lot of it can correlate.
Is there a piece of advice that a kicker has given you that you've applied?
Oh yeah. Especially I'll tell guys that are younger than me is don't kick too much. Sometimes if you're going through a rut or you're struggling mentally, all you want to do is go out there and kick 100, 200 balls. But a lot of times just trusting yourself and not over kicking. There can be practices where you're not feeling the greatest mentally or physically, and instead of kicking 20 balls before team period, just get a stretch in and go out there and wing it. So not over kicking, I think, would be one.